Welcome to the Phi Life podcast. I'm John Barban, and with me, as always, is Brad Pilon. And I don't even know what today's topic is. Brad emailed me earlier today with some interesting ideas. He's in, where are you, Disney World? Orlando?
No, man, I'm in Kissimmee. Kissimmee, just outside of Orlando at the Westgate Vacation Villas, kind of doing a family getaway for the week. We did Epcot. Might do a couple more activities, but mostly it's just swimming in the pool and laying by the sun, which is a nice change from what we've got up there.
All right, well, hit me.
All right, so basically what I realized, I've been just paying attention to what goes on down here. And, you and I, we talk to a lot of people who are obviously American or live in the States, so we don't really get a chance to really get down here and just sort of chill, right? It's not something we get to do very often. So I was down here and I noticed that on the radio, they were talking about the First Lady, Michelle Obama, and her plan to kind of combat obesity. And the point of this call obviously isn't to weight on political issues, and obviously John and I really don't care about what your opinion may or may not be of Michelle Obama. But the point is that I saw this as a chance to kind of point out what's happened whenever government gets involved in weight loss, which is a massive fail. Right? It's never really worked, at least in North America. And I think the reason is, and John, something you and I have experienced in the, whether it's the supplement industry, just even with our ideas, is when ideas by committee, they always fail. Right? Because probably, to me, Michelle Obama seems like a smart lady. So she's probably looked around and she's like, hey, we need to tell the population, you've got to stop eating so much, and you've got to stop eating now. Which, would be advice both you and I would agree with, right? Like, you definitely have to slow down. We cannot be eating this much food. The problem is, it'll be a committee that will say, instead of saying that, because it's a little harsh, what we should say is, you need to eat a little less, right? And then from there, through committee, it'll become, we don't like the eat less message. What we think is you should make healthy food choices. And then, of course, now the weight loss message is gone. It's turned into a healthy food choices message, which is interesting because I was looking at a box of Cheerios today I bought down in the States. And then people who don't know, the United States has different laws and regulations about what they can and can't say on their foods as compared to Canada. And, John, you'd love this. On the box of Cheerios, it says, research shows that eating, this is where the capital letters come in, eating capital letters more grain can help with weight loss. But the irony, of course, is that you're in the word more, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And that's so, for every regulation, that always happens. It always gets spun into buying more product.
Exactly. So you're never, ever, as a population, going to see a government, or even just, because I know everybody hates it when we talk about government getting involved in things, but you're never going to see a wide acceptance of the advice to simply eat less. It's actually never going to happen.
Yeah,
and it'd be really cool. Go ahead.
Well, it's not an economically feasible marketing message for anybody. So
exactly.
So no matter who it is and where, if there's, unless it's purely free advice or you're learning it, I don't even know where besides you and me, I don't know anybody else who just says less. And you can find it in research studies, but even then there's very little research funding for that sort of thing either, because who's going to be funding that kind of, a certain amount of research funding comes from government grants, but a good chunk of it comes from various industries like the dairy industry, the egg and poultry industry, then the cattleman's beef, and then the grain industry. All of those industries are going to fund research to come up with the initial bias is, how does more of my product help with weight loss? It's never going to be how does less of my product help with weight loss.
Right. So this is my tie-in, perfect segue into Epcot, right? So at Epcot, we mostly I just went there to do the around the world part and eat food from every country. That was really my goal. But we did stop in on stuff that was knowing something about land. It was something to do with the future of food, and they've done some really cool stuff. Cool in terms of my opinion, maybe not everybody's, but genetic variations on plants where you can actually grow plants that could be grown underground, grown on trees, like sweet potatoes grown on trees above ground, 9-pound lemons, things like that, right? They're also investigating